The siege of Terra Prime. The stars around Earth had never looked so threatening. Commander Sarah Chen stood on the bridge of the UES Defiance, humanity's newest battlecruiser, watching as reality itself seemed to tear apart. Massive rifts opened. In space, each one vomiting forth ships of the Korthax Dominion. The alien vessels were angular nightmares of black metal and pulsing orange energy, each one larger than 3 city blocks stacked together. Sarah's tactical officer, Lieutenant Marcus Webb, broke the tense silence. His voice carried the weight of what they all knew was coming. The final count showed 412 enemy vessels dropping out of quantum space. Earth's combined defense fleet numbered only 93 ships, including their orbital, platforms, and fighter squadrons. The math was simple and brutal. Admiral Thomas Rivera's face appeared on every screen across the human fleet. The old warrior had seen humanity through the Mars Rebellion and the Europa Crisis, but even his legendary composure showed cracks today. His message was brief, but powerful. Today we face extinction or survival. There is no middle ground. Every ship, every gun, every brave soul in this fleet stands between 8 billion humans and oblivion. We hold the line, no matter the cost. The Korthax had sent their ultimatum 3 days ago. Surrender Earth's resources and submit to servitude, or face complete annihilation. Humanity's response had been unanimous across every nation, every space, colony, every orbital habitat. They would fight. They would rather die standing than live on their knees. Sarah watched as the alien armada arranged itself into attack formation. The Korthax were known throughout the galaxy as conquerors who had never lost a war. They had crushed the Altarian Republic in 6 days. The mighty Proxima Alliance had lasted only 2 weeks. Earth had no allies coming to help. The other races considered humanity too young, too primitive to waste resources defending. The first wave of Korthax fighters launched from their carrier vessels like angry hornets from a disturbed nest. Thousands of them, each one equipped with plasma cannons that could melt through titanium armor in seconds. Sarah gripped her command chair as Earth's own fighters rose to meet them. The void between the two fleets became a deadly dance of light and death. Pilot James Park led Squadron 7 into the thick of battle. His fighter weaved between enemy plasma bolts, returning fire with humanity's best weapons. But for every Korthax fighter they destroyed, 3 more seemed to take its place. Through his cockpit window, James saw the destroyer UES Mumbai explode in a brilliant fireball as concentrated enemy fire overwhelmed its shields. Back on the Defiance, Sarah coordinated her ship's defensive fire while trying to protect the smaller vessels in her battle group. The cruiser UES Stockholm took a direct hit to its engine core and began drifting helplessly. The frigate Cairo managed to destroy 2 enemy bombers before a Korthax battleship's main gun reduced it to scattered atoms. The battle was only 20 minutes old, and humanity had already lost 15 ships. The Korthax had lost 4. Sarah's weapons officer, Commander Lin Zhang, reported their ammunition reserves dropping rapidly. They were burning through missiles and railgun rounds at an unsustainable rate. At this pace, they would be reduced to harsh language and good intentions within the hour. That was when the impossible happened. Space itself seemed to ripple like water disturbed by an invisible hand. The effect started small, just a distortion that the sensors initially dismissed as battle damage interference, but it grew larger, spreading outward from a point between Earth's fleet and the Korthax armada. Both sides paused their assault, confused by this unexpected phenomenon. The ripple became a tear in reality, not violent like the Korthax quantum rifts, but smooth and controlled, as if space was politely opening a door. From within that door emerged something that defied every law of physics humanity understood. The ship that materialized was beautiful in its impossibility. Its hull seemed to be made of crystallized starlight, shifting between solid and ethereal states. The vessel was massive, dwarfing even the largest Korthax dreadnought, yet it moved with the grace of a dancer. Sarah's sensor officer, Elena Vasquez, stared at her screens in disbelief. The readings made no sense. The ship registered as being simultaneously there and not there, existing in multiple dimensions at once. Its power signature was off every chart they had, Whatever this thing was, it operated on principles of science humanity hadn't even theorized yet. The Korthax reacted first, immediately designating the newcomer as a threat. A squadron of their heavy cruisers opened fire on the mysterious vessel. Plasma beams and antimatter torpedoes streaked across space toward the crystalline ship. What happened next changed everything. The attack simply ceased to exist. They didn't impact shields or get deflected. They just stopped being, erased from reality, as if they had never been fired at all. A voice filled every communication channel, speaking in perfect, unaccented English, though it somehow seemed to resonate in every human language simultaneously. The words came not through speakers but directly into the minds of everyone present. Greetings, children of Earth. We are the Sentinels. We have watched. We have waited. Now, we stand with you. Commander Chen felt her heart skip. The voice carried an ancient weight, older than worlds, yet filled with unmistakable warmth. Before anyone could respond, the crystalline ship moved. It positioned itself directly between Earth's battered fleet and the Korthax armada, a luminous shield against the darkness. The Korthax commander's image appeared on an open channel. His species looked like bipedal insects with too many eyes, and mandibles that clicked in agitation. His translated words dripped with rage. Unknown vessel, you interfere with lawful conquest under galactic dominion protocols. Remove yourself or be destroyed alongside these primitives. The Sentinel ship's response was not words but action. Beams of pure white energy lanced out from its hull, each one finding a Korthax vessel with impossible accuracy. But these weren't weapons of destruction. Where they struck, Korthax ships simply stopped functioning. Their weapons powered down, their engines went silent, their shields collapsed. They hung helpless in space, completely neutralized but unharmed. Sarah watched, in awe as the massive alien armada, moments before an unstoppable force of conquest, was systematically disabled. The Sentinels moved through the Korthax formation like a parent taking dangerous toys away from children. No explosions, no deaths, just the quiet certainty of superior technology applied with surgical precision. But the battle was far from over. The Korthax had not conquered half the galaxy by giving up easily. Their command ship, a massive dreadnought called the Extinction's Edge, began charging its planet-killer weapon. The device was forbidden by most galactic treaties, capable of cracking a world in half. If they couldn't have Earth, they would ensure no one could. Sarah's blood ran cold as her sensors detected the weapon's power signature building. Even the Sentinel's ship seemed to react with urgency, its crystalline hull pulsing with increased energy. The voice returned, this time directed at the human fleet. Children of Earth, we cannot stop this weapon without destroying the ship that carries it. But we are bound by ancient laws. We cannot take life unless our protégés choose that path. The decision must be yours. Admiral Rivera's response was immediate and decisive. All ships, concentrate fire on that dreadnought. Protect Earth at all costs. The battered human fleet, despite their losses and damage, responded as one. Every remaining weapon turned toward the Extinction's Edge. Missiles, railguns, plasma cannons, even small arms fire from fighters too damaged to do anything else. Humanity threw everything they had at the threat to their world. The Sentinels added their own energy to the assault but transformed it. Where human weapons would have destroyed, the combined attack instead created a containment field around the planet-killer weapon. The device imploded harmlessly. Its energies dissipated into harmless radiation. The Extinction's Edge, pride of the Korthax fleet, was reduced to a powerless hulk drifting through space. As the immediate threat passed, Sarah finally had a moment to wonder who or what the Sentinels were and why they had chosen to save Earth. The answer would prove more incredible than anyone could have imagined. The ancient guardians. The bridge of the Defiance had fallen into stunned silence. The massive Korthax armada, which minutes ago had seemed invincible, now drifted powerless through space. Their ships were intact, but completely disabled, their crews no doubt struggling to understand what had happened to them. But all eyes were on the crystalline vessel that had saved them, the ship that called itself a Sentinel. Admiral Rivera's voice broke through the quiet, addressing the mysterious vessel on an open channel. On behalf of Earth and all humanity, we thank you for your intervention, but we must ask, who are you? Why did you save us? The response came in that same impossible way, directly into their minds. The voice now carried images, feelings, memories that weren't their own. Sarah Chen gasped as she saw visions of Earth, but not as it was now. She saw her planet millions of years ago, when different stars filled the sky. She saw beings of pure energy dancing through the cosmos, seeding worlds with the potential for life. We are the Sentinels, the voice explained, and the visions continued. Long before your son was born, we traveled the universe. We were once like you, physical beings who reach for the stars. But we evolved beyond the need for flesh, becoming creatures of consciousness and energy. In our transcendence, we took on a sacred duty, to watch over young species, to ensure they had the chance to grow and choose their own destiny. Lieutenant Marcus Webb stared at his screens, trying to make sense of the readings. The Sentinel ship wasn't just advanced, it existed partially outside normal space-time, anchored to their reality by will alone. But sir, why Earth? Why humanity? There are older species, more advanced civilizations. Why save us? The answer came with a wave of warmth that every human felt in their bones. Because you are our children in a way no other species can claim. Millions of years ago, when we still wore flesh, we came from a world much like Earth. We were the first humans. You are not alone in the universe. You never were. You are the inheritance we left behind, the seeds we planted before we ascended. The revelation struck the human fleet like a physical blow. Elena Vasquez dropped her data pad. James Park, still in his damaged fighter, forgot to breathe. Humanity's oldest question, whether they were alone in the universe, had just been answered, in the most unexpected way possible. But the Korthax were not finished. Their command ship, though disabled, managed to send out a quantum distress signal. Sarah's sensors detected it immediately. Commander, they're calling for reinforcements. The entire Korthax Empire will know what happened here. The Sentinel ship pulsed with what seemed like amusement. Let them come. It has been eons since we revealed ourselves. Perhaps it is time the galaxy remembered why certain species are under our protection. But first, children of Earth, you must decide. We have disabled your enemies, but we will not make choices for you. What do you wish to do with the Korthax fleet? Admiral Rivera consulted with the leaders of Earth through quantum communication. The debate was swift but thorough. When he spoke, again his voice carried the weight of humanity's decision. We want them to leave. We want them to carry a message to their empire and to the galaxy. Earth is protected. Humanity will defend itself. But we will not become conquerors. Send them home. The crystalline ship pulsed with approval. Wisdom beyond your years. Very well. The Sentinel vessel moved through the disabled Korthax fleet. As it passed each ship, their systems came back online, but their weapons remained inactive. The voice that spoke to the Korthax was different now, carrying the weight of eons and the promise of consequences. Warriors of Korthax, you are free to leave. Tell your empire what you have witnessed. Tell them that humanity is under the protection of the Sentinels. Any aggression against Earth or her colonies will be met with our full intervention. This is not a threat. It is a promise as old as the stars themselves. The Korthax fleet began to retreat, opening quantum rifts to flee back to their space. But their commander had one last message, his insectoid features twisted in what might have been fear or awe. The galaxy will know of this. Every species will know that the Sentinels have returned. What you have done today will change everything. As the last Korthax ship disappeared into quantum space, the Sentinel vessel turned its attention back to Earth's fleet. The human ships were battered and damaged. Many crew members were wounded or dying. The crystalline ship began to glow brighter, and waves of energy washed over the human vessels. Sarah watched in amazement as the Defiance's hull breaches sealed themselves. Damaged systems came back online stronger than before. In the medical bay, Dr. Robert Sterling reported that critically wounded crew members were stabilizing, their injuries healing at impossible rates. Whatever the Sentinels were doing, they were not just repairing the ships, but improving them. "We give you a gift," the voice explained. "Knowledge. Not all at once, for that would overwhelm you. But seeds of understanding that will grow with time. Your ships now carry traces of our technology. Study it. Learn from it. Grow from it. You will need strength for what comes next." Commander Lin Jiang examined the weapon systems, now enhanced, with technologies that seem to bend the laws of physics. "Captain Chen, our weapons have been modified. I'm seeing energy patterns that shouldn't be possible. It's like they've given us a roadmap to technologies centuries ahead of us." But Sarah had a more pressing concern. "What comes next? You said we would need strength. Are there more threats coming?" The Sentinel ship began to pulse with different colors, each one carrying emotions and concepts. "The galaxy has slept while we were hidden. Old evils have grown bold. Ancient treaties have been forgotten. Your emergence, humanity's refusal to surrender, and our revelation, these things will wake powers that have been dormant. Some will come as allies drawn by curiosity and hope. Others will come as enemies fearing what humanity might become." The image of a galaxy appeared in everyone's mind, vast and full of wonders and terrors. Sarah saw civilizations beyond counting, some beautiful, others terrifying. She saw wars that had raged for millennia and peaces that had lasted even longer. She saw humanity's place in it all, not as newcomers, but as inheritors of an ancient legacy. "We cannot fight your battles for you," the Sentinels continued. "Our role is to protect, not to conquer. But we will stand watch. When the darkness comes, and it will come, you will not stand alone. This ship will remain hidden near Earth, a guardian in the shadows. Others of our kind watch over your colonies. You are our legacy, our hope that physical life can achieve what we achieved without losing what made us human." Admiral Rivera spoke for all of humanity. "We understand. We accept this responsibility. But can you tell us more about our connection, about who we really are?" The answer came with a flood of images and sensations. Humanity saw their DNA, not as a random accident, but as a carefully crafted masterpiece. They saw how the Sentinels, in their final years of physical existence, had seeded hundreds of worlds with modified versions of their genetic code. Each seed was designed to evolve differently, to explore different paths of development. "You were our most ambitious project," the voice said with unmistakable pride. "We gave you something the others lack. We gave you our complete emotional range, our curiosity, our drive to explore and understand. Other species we seeded became stronger, faster, or smarter in specific ways. But you, humanity, you received our balance, our capacity for both logic and intuition, for both war and peace, for both science and art. You are not our descendants. You are our true successors." The bridge crew of every human ship stood in silent awe. Everything they thought they knew about human history, about their place in the universe, had just changed. They were not alone. They had never been alone. They were part of something ancient and magnificent. But there was no time for extended contemplation. Sarah's sensors detected new quantum signatures forming at the edge of the solar system. Ships were arriving, but these were not Korthax. The vessels were elegant and graceful, with markings that the enhanced human computers could now partially translate. "Commander Chen, those are Altarian ships," Elena Vasquez reported with excitement. "The same ones the Korthax supposedly destroyed. They're broadcasting a message of peace. They want to talk." More signatures appeared. The Proxima Alliance, the Centauri Collective, even species humanity had never heard of. Word of what had happened was spreading faster than light across the galaxy. The return of the Sentinels and humanity's connection to them was drawing attention from every corner of known space. Admiral Rivera looked at the gathering fleet of alien vessels, some coming in peace, others clearly just curious. He turned to address his battered but victorious fleet. "Ladies and gentlemen, it seems our world just got a lot bigger. Prepare for first contact protocols. We have guests to receive." The Sentinel ship began to fade, not leaving but shifting, out of phase with normal space. "We will watch. We will guide when needed. But this is your moment, children of Earth. Show the galaxy what humanity can become. Show them why we chose to reveal ourselves for you. Make us proud. As the crystalline ship vanished from normal view, Sarah Chen felt its presence still there, a warm comfort at the edge of perception. She looked at the alien ships arriving, at Earth shining blue and green below, at her crew standing ready for whatever came next. Humanity had survived its first real test. They had faced extinction and refused to break. They had been offered power and chose mercy instead. And in doing so, they had discovered their true heritage. They were not just humans. They were the inheritors of the Sentinels, the children of beings who had transcended physical existence but never forgot their roots. The galaxy would never be the same, and neither would humanity.